Okay, wow, she was.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
So I presume she was a different person.
Yeah.
At the time we met. And then obviously I started realizing her character and kind of just understanding and noticing.
I mean, what we know about reflectors, like mechanically, is that they are never a reflector. They are maybe like 1-2 times a year. There's nothing in the transit field, or there's nothing in their auric environment that, you know, hooks them up to a different type. So, and by that, I mean, during these moon cycles they go through, a reflector is here to be always changed between the type. So, you know, they are manifestors and they're a generator. Yeah. So that's the energy available to them. That's also how they go through these types and how they actually, like, on the ground floor are experiencing the totality.
And also lunar cycle affects them deeply, profoundly.
Yes. I mean, it's through this lunar cycle of 28 days that they go through all these types, and they have to go. They have to sample the energy, you know, of the manifestor, the generator, and the projector, and see how it all is cooking. And then during that moon phase, they will come to a point of clarity, and that's how they, you know, they're not emotional, but you know, you can kind of like hint on the moon is the water, you know, and it's waves, so it's kind of like an emotional. It's kind of, they're waiting for a clarity there also. I mean, for me, as a sacred being, like every time I can be like, It's also clarity, but it's more like a state of clarity I'm always supposed to be in. But an emotional being will get out of, I mean, it will be in clarity, but it will also, it's supposed to not be in clarity, because when the wave is down, the wave is down.
Yeah, totally.
So the reflector has it a bit of the same way, because during this moon phase, I mean, it will be caught by these signatures of the types also. The manifestor, not self, brings anger, you know. It's easy to jump to a conclusion in a state of anger, or then in a frustrated setting, and etc. And so they have to wait it all through, and then maybe they will learn something about like why there was initial this, you know, this anger, you know, and see it in reflection of the generated field, and then last maybe we get the projectors in which are here to guide, you know, and they bring, their presence bring authority into the whole process, because they have the keys to change what is not self. So, man, thank you for that. I think you just like, for me also, like now, just kind of outline the reflector a little bit more. And you, I mean, again, we can maybe like, you know, anticipate that since you have a reflector experience in your body now, this is available in the auric field.
Yeah.
Hermit style, of course, not like wizard style, bro. You know, that's how we roll.
Hermit style, I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. I really enjoy our company, like existentially.
Yeah, and this girl, she has a relationship with an emotional manifestor, and they have a projected child. Wow, what a mix!
What a triangulation!
What
you know?
A combo!
Yes, wow, that's amazing. Nice talk about the reflectors. I mean, I do meet them more and more, so I'm happy about that. I met one in Romania. I met two in Romania actually. One which is I could feel that she was kind of like putting a little like, you know, I'm interested. You're curious to me. You know, I felt that connection, and we did meet in Bucharest. We had a lovely walk in a park, and it was interesting for me to feel the frequency of a correct, you know, quite correct reflector, because I could now feel the auric field. But she was working like full time, so I mean, she was in a generative field, and she was really, I mean, she was, shall we say, she was putting out frustration. Like, no doubt, it was very clear for me. Like in her work, you know, she was just quite a distinguished work actually, working with old paintings and you know, like she was rehabilitating them, and it was interesting for me to notice. I mean, I'm a generator, so kind of that gave her the she was the electromagnetic output to also release the frustration. But I mean, I could also sense that like she was identifying with the frustration on a kind of personal level in a sense. So I mean, I could maybe guide her and just see, you know, the elements of the energy and what you are in that energy. But yeah, that was maybe my first real reflector meeting of somebody, and also I see it in the totality. I mean, I had my kind of motivation to meet her in a sense. Like I want to learn about the reflector. And she, I mean, in the program, you know, we are here for each other, and she was, I mean, she needed to get output for that frustration, and then we kind of informed me about the status quo of things in her network in Romania, in her, you know, in her fractal and in her work, etc.
You know, not knowing about human design, being a reflector must be quite a weight to carry, you know, because you're obviously so much more different than anyone else.
That is my experiment with both projectors and, you know, now reflectors.
Projectors as well. Projectors like
but they often there's often a fast recognition there. I mean, I think also as a, you know, as a paradox, they are so much caught in the energy. You know, somebody just like me, they can like polarize it, like yeah, but you're not that energy, huh? You know that, right? And they're like, yeah, I know that, right? They often do, especially projectors. With my experience with energetic projectors, like emotional ones, they are like not so, you know, they don't get it that much. Because and I see why, because they have all this energy that is running in them, no?
Yeah.
But
emotional waves.
Yeah. But yeah, it's nice to get them in. And then I meet, actually before this, just coming back from Vaha, I was staying with a projector friend that I met from the festival, from the organization. Really cool person, and staying with her, she was making this, you know, this leather belts and stuff, you know, in our scene. And she had a client which was supposed to buy as a birthday present for her twins. And she was not, you know, time pressure and to make them finish before the client came. And then the client came and she's not really done, so she asked me like, hey, can you entertain, can you just entertain her a little bit before I'm finished? And like, I took out my book from my grandfather, like, sure thing, you know. So we go out, we sit down, and then I talk about the book and, you know, my experiment with Romania and everything. And I like offer to like, yeah, do human design, it's an oral science. Should I check your design? So yeah, sure. And then boom, reflector, and I'm like, you know, it was my first time, you know, like I was just caught on the block with that initiation. It backfired a little bit. But I got to give her a little reading, and she got this instant recognition. And the interesting part for me after was that, you know, as I told you, I'm a soft tissue surfer, and we dealt with my traumas, and a lot has to do with my mother, actually, because I rejected my mother because I wanted to die. Because I was in so much pain in my infant stages that I was like, fuck this, I don't want to live anymore. Like, Mama, I see you next time. I say that very fast now, but I usually cry when I say that. You know, this is very, very deep for me. But so, you know, and she had been at the Reflector. Now she was studying psychology. So I used the opportunity, knowing she was a reflector. So I just like was very open with her and told her about my, like a fast like rerun of my journey with my healing. And then she was like, I didn't mention my mother. I was just that I was, you know, actually my soft tissue and all that. She would really relate to that. As a dentist also, now they really know, you know, the anatomy of the body. And she was like, suddenly like, then what about your mother? You know, this is so important. You know, and I was like, yeah, I know. And then I was like, yeah, but you know, this is with my mother. And she was like, and then she told me this really interesting stuff from her study with psychology that really like put whole my healing process, which has been like, at least a very abstract one. And you know, for many years I didn't think it was really, you know, because so often it has been, you know, substance induced, this kind of this access to this healing state. So like, I mean, am I just like failing here, or am I really, you know, healing myself? Like it was been hard for me to like, but she really like, as a gift from her, she just took all of me and like put it in, like, you know, this is real, you know, talk to your mother now, you know, and then you will fix this. So that showed me really the potential of the reflector. And also I've been with the projector for 5 years, as you know, and what she has been guiding me into is like, yes, I become more and more myself, or I'm accessing also a high potential. But more than anything, she's learned me to be open, to be open, you know, to be open to the reflecting, to be open to the projections, and to be more open. For me as a manifesting generator, it has been really hard to be open actually. I mean, in a sense I'm very open in the aura field, but when it comes to my inner wounds and traumas, I've been very enclosed. I can just, as you many are. So that showed me like meeting the reflector, the openness in me, you know, like, and then, you know, when she told me this, because I told her also in my story, like, and I said this now, I'm a professional crier now. You know, when I feel it's come again, I won't stop, you know, wherever I am, man, on the train, in front of it. I mean, I just don't care anymore, but I want to get it out.
Well, that's beautiful. It's really nice. I've got a lot of work to do in terms of digging along the path, the relationship with my mother as well. She's an interesting character. She's a projector, emotional projector, and she's a very kind of egocentric, really conditioned person. She's hard fucking work. She's really hard work. She's also carrying manic depression. You know? She's deeply depressed. She's obviously emotional. She's on her waves.
I can also imagine if she's working as a generator, because I mean, they say that about the projector. They know burnout more than any.
Yeah. I mean, she's coming through phases of serious burnout, like at least 4 or 5 times a year. We all know, you know, her kids, my brothers, we know when she's going up and up and up and up and up. She's confusing everything around her. She does really weird things, and she gets into fight with everyone.
And
amplifying everything, you know, it's like, and then she kind of reaches the peak, and then she starts to kind of come down on this kind of weird drug. And she doesn't want to wake up and just sleep, and sometimes kind of suicidal thoughts and kind of weird shit.
I see.
She's hard work.
She's still struggling.
Yeah.
I can imagine maybe she'll be struggling more and more, you know, as having that. A projector dilemma is this, you know, they can amplify in their life for a long time, but, you know, it kicks in, you know.
She's like 65, and she still hasn't learned to wait for the invitation for something, you know. When she wants to come out and help me without an invitation, she's just a fucking burden, you know. I don't want her to be there unless I invite her. And there's occasions when I invite her, and she's just beautiful and really happy, you know, to be there. Mom, please come out and help me with the plants, and then she comes out and she does her little job, and she's kind of sparkling. But when she's there, and I didn't ask, and she's organizing my life, you know, getting the electrician there, and I don't want the electrician to be there. That's when she's stuck, and our relationship is a little bit like.
Is she open to this information? Or?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm telling this.
I mean, projectors are very dear to me, and I've met them more than anyone else in my process.
That's something to buy it,
Yes. So I met them more in my process than anyone else, and I mean, if it comes to it, I'm here for your mother, man. If she's open to a reading, and you know, I can handle a projector. So I mean, they have to be open to the knowledge. Yeah. But then, you know, like, yeah.
She is. It's just, I think she's so crystallized in her manners, in her form.
You know what I call that? It's the bitterness. It's a kind of an ice shell.
Yeah, it is an ice shell.
Okay, we're gonna eat now. Thank you for the chat, man.